What's up, YouTube? This is Boston Chris. Welcome back to my channel, Boston Chris Comics. And so, in this video, what do we have? Well, I have been talking about a yard sale that I found online, on Craigslist, which when I've looked in the past, I think I've only come across maybe one yard sale that had comics at it, and I ended up getting there too late, and the comics were already gone. So this weekend I went ahead and was able to go to a yard sale on Saturday and pick up some really cool books. I had a great time, was able to pick up some awesome books, and then got a surprise after. So I will show you the books I picked up from this sale, and then some books that I picked up from a second yard sale, or a second sale from a place that honestly I would have never known. And I'll just give you the story as I go through. So at the yard sale I went to, it was, again, I found it on Craigslist, and when I've looked on Craigslist before, like I said, I've only seen just the one, or when I do see them, they're really far away, and it's really not worth the time to try to go all the way out there, just because we're talking about maybe like 2.5 to 3 hours away, and it's just like not happening. Yeah, Boston is not a good... Boston doesn't seem to be a great place for comic book yard sales. It might be a situation where they don't list that type of stuff if it's not prominent, or if they don't know about it. Like if it's not a comic collector selling the stuff, maybe it's like somebody's, mom, dad, whatever. I don't know. I mean, you name the situation where it's somebody selling books that just doesn't know about them, and somebody will go ahead and be able to scoop them up for a really good price and everything. But this didn't end up being the case, and it's funny because when I first showed up to the sale, people had known about it. Like I just I wasn't sure how many people were going to know about it, but I showed up and there was a guy. I got there about 15 minutes early. And there was a guy there that was just trying to haggle his way into getting the entire collection. And, the guy who was selling the books was, like, not having it because the guy made the mistake of telling the person that was having the sale that, yeah, I usually buy comics from people and then try to sell them myself. It was really stupid. I couldn't believe that the guy, I mean, it was really honest, but it was just like, one of those situations like, yeah, I don't collect comics. I just, kind of try to pick up comics and then, sell them to people that do like them. So I try to pick them up, buy them, and sell them to collectors. And I was just like, okay. And the guy was a collector. The guy himself was a collector. And, this is why he had his books. And he just was, looking to just kind of move them out to make way for some new books and some new things. And it wasn't just comics. It was, he had board games and Legos and all types of stuff. Was a really good sale, and hopefully there's many more to come. But let's get into the first yard sale of the year, which hopefully it's not my last, but we'll see. So I was able to pick up pretty cool. Start out with some Bronze Age. So I got Man-Thing number 6. Really cool cover. Man-Thing has always been a cool. I like the art on this run. I've always kind of thought that it was pretty cool, and it's done by Mike Ploog, which is he does a lot of the horror stuff in Marvel, so really cool covers and everything like that. Next up we have Web of Spider-Man number 90, one of those nice shiny covers. So I think the only shiny cover that I don't have is because I have the Amazing Spider-Man, which is the black cover. I have the red cover now. And I don't think I have that green cover. But speaking of Web of Spider-Man, we also have issue number 25. So that's pretty cool. I want to read this one because I'm not sure if this is... it says A Stalker from the Stars. So, looks pretty cool. He looks like he could be an Atlantean though. But anyway, whatever. That's cool. Then, also have Spectacular Spider-Man number 189. And so, this one says The Final Battle with the Green Goblin. Which I know 200 is basically, I think that's the death of Harry Osborn, when he kind of like loses it and goes nuts and ends up having like a heart attack, and that has that like really like shiny silver hardcover, but another cool book to pick up. He had a bunch of these. He had about like 5 of these, so I just picked up just the one. Next up, we have Web of Spider-Man number 89. Nice black suit Spider-Man and Wolverine appearance in this book, so definitely cool, worth picking up. Then we have picked up a bunch of this stuff. It was really cool. Got some Uncanny X-Men, so I was able to pick up some books to fill in my run there. So that's number 234. Got number 208, Nimrod in the back. Got number 236. So this is the Genosha, I guess, kind of like the Genosians trying to take down mutants. They're trying to hunt them down. Then we have, this is like a later on issue, but this is actually a really cool issue. So this is Uncanny X-Men number 322. This is the first issue after the Age of Apocalypse, so kind of like the relaunch of the X-Men after the whole issue where they had, you know, the cancellation of the X-Men and all the rest of that stuff. So pretty cool. Next we have nice Avengers book here. So this is Avengers number 214. Don't think it's necessarily a key, but we got Ghost Rider on there, so pretty cool. So then we have X-Men number 251. This has always been an awesome cover. This is a cover I actually really have always liked. You know, just you see, you know, the crucified Wolverine and on the X. Really cool. It reminds me of when you watch Conan the Barbarian, the Tree of Woe, because you have the crow, I'm sorry, the vulture flying above him. So that's pretty cool. Then we have issue number 210. So at this point, I think I have all of the issues of the Mutant Massacre as far as the X-Men titles are concerned. I know that there's that Daredevil, I think is number 183. I have that. And I think there's a couple other issues that kind of tie into it. But, you know, I just am missing, I think, a couple of the tie-ins. But for the actual main title, I finally have it. And this is one I've wanted to get for a while. You know, John and me to cover. And it's just like the only one that I've been missing. Because I have 211, 213, 212. And so those are all the main title ones. Then also he had this, and I was like, kind of like, oh, nice. So this is actually my second copy of this book, but I have number 248. So this is Jim Lee's first work on the X-Men. So pretty cool. And then to follow that up, we have a nice Jim Lee cover here. So number 268. And this is a book I've wanted to pick up for a long time. I haven't been able to see it, and I think that because it's one of those, you know, kind of prominent titles, or prominent covers that, you know, Jim Lee is known for from back in the day, it ends up going for a little more than I think it should on eBay. So I'm just kind of like, eh. But like, I mean, to be honest with you, I've looked for it, but I have also kind of, you know, just looked for it sparingly. I haven't like really put in like hardcore effort into it. But every time I come across it, people want like, you know, upwards of like, you know, $8 to $9 for it. It's just like, that ain't happening. At least not for me. That's not happening. I've never read it, so I don't know. And I know this is supposed to be back in one that together. So Black Widow, Captain America, and Wolverine says together for the first time. So this is supposed to, I guess, take place in World War II. So I don't know. Supposedly, I don't know. I have to read it and check it out, but we'll see. Then, actually, funny enough, I actually found this book. And so I was shown this in an off-air hangout with a friend of mine, Kyle Walker, and he just like, yeah, man, check out this book I picked up. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And this ends up being kind of a, you know, I mean, I don't know if it's ultra rare, but it's definitely something that, you know, you don't come across often. At least I haven't. I've never come across this book in a comic shop, but I thought it was pretty cool. So this is a video game insert. So this came with an actual computer game, which is called Madness in Murderland, or Murder World, sorry. And so the game came with was it Paragon Software? So, and this was put out in 1989, and this is supposed to be basically like the companion to let you know like what it is that happens in the story, and it's pretty cool. Like Mark Bagley worked on this, so this is pretty cool stuff. Definitely, it was like actually the first book I picked up. It was the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh my god, cool. Next up, we have Captain America Annual number 8. Amazing Mike Zeck cover on this one. Really, really nice. I was actually, really happy to see that. Next up, and this one, like, I feel like he either the guy himself just didn't have any love for this book or something. It's not in terrible shape. It's got some spine roll to it, but just in general, it's just he wasn't like when we were going over books and kind of pricing things out. He just kind of was like, yeah, just put it over there, just put them right down, and then like those other books he had to negotiate on. But this was one of the ones that he was just like, all right, put it right in the, just a regular, dollar stack. Okay, no problem. So, Thor number 412. This is the first full team appearance of the New Warriors, so that's pretty cool. Definitely something that, I mean, I've never had, and, just thought it was something really cool to pick up, so happy to have that. And then next up, I had seen this in the ad. This was one of the books that actually kind of got my attention when we were, when I was looking at the ad itself. Just because sometimes on Craigslist you'll see when there's books for sales, things like that. There won't be too many good ones, but it's just like sometimes things will catch your eye, and I was like, oh, all right, let me check a look and see this. So, Infinity Gauntlet number 1, pretty cool. There's a couple issues with this, nothing too terrible, but like there's definitely some I think they call it foxing over in the corner, so it's like a little blunted there. And then there's a couple of, there's one color breaking crease up in the top corner. I don't know if you can see it right there. And spine ticker too, but overall not too bad. So definitely happy to pick that up. And then the best book that I got from the Shiad sale that actually made me really happy when I saw it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Ends up being Marvel Spotlight number 4. This is the 3rd appearance of Werewolf by Night, so pretty cool. Overall in really good shape. A couple spine ticks, couple color break increases on the corner. Oh, sorry, on the cover, on like right around this area. But overall, really good. And then the back, back cover could definitely use a cleaning, but overall, no rips or anything like that. So that's really, really good. But yeah, definitely happy about that. So got done with that. Paid for everything, went ahead and was on my way. And then my sister had told me as we were on our way home, oh, hey, listen, my friend Lorenzo told me that there is a sale where they're selling books and comic books at this library. So I was like, okay, so let me go ahead and check that out. And, I went in there with no expectations. I was just like, it's a library, so whatever. And so I went in, like I said, with no expectations, and came out with a stack of books this big. And so I was like, all right, let's see what's going on here. And so as I was, just kind of going through books and making my stack, I, decided to, just ask, how much are these books going for? And they said $0.25 a piece. And I was like, really? Okay. So 25 cents each, no problem. And then it was like, 25 cents each or 5 for $1. I was like, perfect. So I went to town and started out with a book series that I know from the title, but I've never actually read it, called The Crying Freeman. So this is issue number 1. And I guess it's kind of like I'm not sure if it's like kind of a mafia story or not, but I've heard of it. I've just never read it. And it's pretty I guess well-known story if you're into like manga and stuff like that. But this is put out by Viz Comics, so they were the ones that brought forth a lot of the manga coming over to the United States, like Dragon Ball, things like that. But we got issue number 2. And issue number 3. And then as we keep going, they also had Punisher War Journal number 1. So really cool. Definitely, you know, fun cover there. Then we get Generation X number 1. Wolverine number 99. So that helps me out with my Wolverine run, just because I was looking at, oh no, old everything. Oh, that's what happens sometimes when you have books all kind of unorganized as I'm doing the videos, trying to make sure they don't fall down, avoiding them. Terrible, terrible, terrible situation for now. Alright, back to the books. Alright, so X Factor. New Mutants number 6. And then we get X Factor number 2. X Factor 29. And then we have Uncanny X-Men number 281. So I already have one of these, but for a quarter I'm not gonna turn it down. We got X-Force number 19. Some early Greg Capullo art on this one, so for all you Greg Capullo fans, pretty cool stuff, some early stuff right there. This actually is a fun issue. This is one that I really am actually happy that I was able to get. So we have the famous X-Men Uncanny X-Men number 290, the famous Storm cover, where she's being rained on, but you know, they call it the Bukkake cover. But yeah, really cool there. Then we have, let's see, Captain America number 25. This is the variant, and this ends up being the Death of Captain America issue. It's not in horrible shape. It definitely could use a cleaning. There's some spine ticks on it, but you know, it's what I expected coming out of a you know, sale that really isn't you know, geared towards, you know, collectors. But the fun part too with this is that I expected, I mean, I've been, you know, going to libraries, they have that little Dewey Decimal card slot thing, that I expected to fully see that in the back of these books, and it's not. It's just somebody just had a bunch of, you know, just long boxes and just put out a bunch of comics that they just wanted people to be able to have. So, hey, you know, I'm happy to pick them up for a quarter each. You get New Mutants number 45, so here we go with the 25th anniversary of Marvel, I think it is. So another one of those covers. And then I was able to pick up some books from my Spawn run. So we have number 61 and also number 64. So we got number, what is this? 39 and number 44. Then we got issue number 13 and issue number 14. And then we get issue number 46 and issue number 32. So, on my Spawn run, what I'm hoping to collect is just issues number 1 to 100. I've got a pretty decent chunk of it, but not all of it. So, definitely one that I'm working on, but, you know, hopefully can get that all squared away, yeah, relatively soon, who knows. But, then we have, this one was actually pretty fun to see, and I was actually really happy to pick this up. But, let me just turn this over. Alright, so we have the Star Wars, based on George Lucas's original rough draft screenplay. So this is the actual original Star Wars story that he had drafted prior to, you know, making any edits and changes. So we got issue number 1 and issue number 2. We got issue number 3 and issue number 4. Then we got issue number 5 and issue number 6. So let me just, issue number 6. It's an 8-issue run, so I have almost all of it, so that's pretty cool. next we have New Mutants number 3 and New Mutants number 5. So pretty cool. And some of these they went ahead and they just put them in with other books, and it was just kind of like, but then some of them they packaged together, so that's alright. I actually was really surprised and shocked to see these. So I was, as soon as this is actually kind of what got me to kind of start like really paying attention. When I first walked over, I was like, alright, looking at some stuff, and then I flipped through and I was like, oh my god, like this is there? That's pretty cool. So you know, I was just really taken back when I saw it, because I was just like, I did not expect to see you know, anything like this and that, and what it ended up being was New Mutants. So this is annual number 6. This is the first appearance of Shatterstar in this book. So I was just like, wow, that's, you know, definitely something I wasn't expecting, so pretty cool. Then also they had Wolverine number 150. This is the variant cover. I want to say, like, there's also I think for this one the Nabisco variant, but this is just a regular variant of it. So nothing too crazy, but just happy to have it. And then, like I said, so I saw that and I was like, all right, so, you know, crazy first appearance. And then I was just like flipping through some more, and I was like, oh my god, because I mean, not like I didn't find any Hulk 181s or anything, but just kind of, you know, just books that you, like I said, you go to a public library, you don't expect to see anything, you know, that would catch your eye and be something that people are looking for, but I was able to find this. So Captain America number 25. So this is where Falcon takes over for Captain America. So definitely a book that people are looking for at this point in time. And then again, I wasn't, you know, really expecting to find this next group of books as well, but I was actually really happy that I did. So we have Thor: God of Thunder. This is issue number 1. And in this series, you end up having you also had issue number 2, which is the first appearance of the God Butcher and the Necro Sword. So I ended up actually finding 2 of those. So I picked up both of those. And then issue number 3, so the second print. Issue number 5. And then also issue number 6. Oh, issue number 6, let me show you. So I think this is the first cameo of Null, the you know, the god of the symbiotes. So definitely one I was like, oh man, this is awesome. You know, so I was like really excited when I found that. And then we have issue number 8. And then, oh, out of order, but issue number 7. I've heard, if you you know, talk to if you watch Justin from Exile State Comics, he's a big Thor guy, and he was saying that this is actually a really good series written by Jason Aaron. So a lot of good stuff in there. So yeah, man, I was like really excited to be able to pick those up. And then I'm trying to think, I have a couple more. I'm trying to think where I put them. I was able to get some other I think it's like later volume Wolverine stuff, but man, I don't know where I put it. That's the problem with getting so many books at one time. It's just like there's other stuff. But overall, I mean, I did really good, and I had a really good weekend. So when I do come across those other books, those other Wolverine books, I will go ahead and share those. Just because I think that, oh, actually, here we go, found them. All right. So I haven't had a chance to bag aboard these yet, but I was able to find these as well, and it's kind of ironic because there's a lot of Jason Aaron stuff, but we have you know, some Wolverine. So this is, I'm not sure which volume, but let me just take a look inside to find out. Alright, hold everything. They put it in the back. I'm gonna say I think that this is volume either 3 or 4, because the main Wolverine continuity that was started with after the miniseries is considered volume 2. But anyway, doesn't matter. So, yeah, Wolverine number 1. Then second printing variant on issue number 2. Then we got, let's see, I'm just trying to see if I can find out which volume this is. That's alright, I'll look it up and I'll be able to tell later on. But yeah, issue number 3. Yeah, issue number 5. Then issue number 5.1. And then we have issue number 6. And then issue number 20. So pretty cool. And then also we have Wolverine Manifest Destiny, so it's issue number 1. Number 2. And the one that I really got this for just is because I was really just looking into, I've always loved this cover, you know, really awesome cover, and it's issue number 3, which has the Enter the Dragon cover swipe, so that's pretty cool. And I do like that they have the little Gordon Blue on the bottom. That's pretty cool. So definitely, you know, something that I thought was awesome. And I think there's a couple more of volume 3 here. So we have issue number 16. This must be volume 4, I think. Let's see. I'm not sure, but this came out around the same time as Fear itself. Issue number 7, which is pretty cool because you have all the X-Men's heads on spikes. Issue number 8. And issue number 11. So pretty cool stuff. Definitely excited to have those, and again I gotta bag and board all these. But that's it. That was my haul. That's what I picked up this weekend. So yard sale season is off to a great start for me, at least. Hopefully it's not the only yard sale of the year, but we'll see. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled to see if there's any good stuff that I can find that you know, hopefully people are looking to sell it on the way. But that's been everything. So I want to thank you all for watching. You know, I understand it's a long video, and you know, wasn't as prepared as I should have been. I tried, but you know, do the best we can with what we got, you know. So with that, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Again, this has been Boston Chris. Everybody have a great night. I'm out.